It's a new day in the workroom. I got my second win last week with the help of my new bestie, Poison Ivy. I think when I leave here with the crown, me and her are going to go on tour together. The Ivy Sisters tour. And we are also walking in here without that flop of a queen, Glacian. She was awful, let's be real, being dragged along this far just so she can be reunited with her mother, and then to send her home in front of both her mothers was so satisfying to watch, and hearing them both sob, music to my ears. Now I just need Alice out of here and I will be the happiest queen.
It's another day, and I'm walking in here the last remaining Pokemon Queen, and I knew once we were merged I would be the final Pokemon Queen standing. It did hurt a little sending Glacian home last week, but as the saying goes, the game is the game, and I plan to win. I can't believe there are only 5 of us left, and dare I say, this is the best top 5 ever? Well, I sure think so. We are 5 talented queens, yes, even Ivy. Of course, I wouldn't tell her that. I would tell her she sucks. But she can find out when she watches the season back how I feel about her, haha. I don't even know what could possibly be coming next. We don't even know if this is going to be the final challenge. I guess we will have to wait for RuPaul to fill us in.
Well, sugars, it's another day, and after being reunited with one of my best friends last week, it is time to get serious. I am more motivated than ever. Being this close to the finale with just one win, it simply won't do. Myself and Blacephalon are sat on a single win, whilst Ivy has 2 and my sisters, Kazumi and Alice, both have 3. I need to get another win to stay in the running for the crown.
The queens gather round and they once again congratulate Ivy for her win last week, and they congratulate Blacephalon for surviving the lip sync. They thank them. Kazumi tells the queens it's so empty in here, and that they all should be so proud of themselves for making it to top 5. Ivy agreed, and tells them even though she don't like them, and they don't like her, they all deserve their spot in the top 5. Marshmallow tells Ivy she likes her, she's just annoying. Ivy laughs and said, "You actually like me?" Marshmallow said yes she does. Alice said, "Really?"
I don't know why Marshmallow would like someone like Ivy. She's just one of those mean queens, who thinks she can read everyone, when in fact her reads have been sloppy, and tired. She was very lucky last week she won, because I just don't see her on the same level as the rest of the top 5, and I do think she is the one to go home next. She's had a great run here, but I personally think this week is Ivy's time to go, unless we get a runway challenge, because she has sickening runways. But this is not top model, this is drag race, and you can't rely on your designers to get anywhere in this competition.
Honestly, it's crazy to think how many queens there were when we were all merged. 12 of us, not even counting the 2 we lost in the split premiere, Pepe Le Pew and Sailor Mercury, who I never got to meet. She was on premiere too. But there's no room for error this late into the competition, because standing in front of my path to the crown is 4 other queens, Alice, Blacephalon, Ivy, and Marshmallow. These queens are no joke. They are strong competition.
Blacephalon asks the queens, which of the eliminated queens deserved to go further than they originally did. Marshmallow, Kazumi and Alice all say Miss Finster.
Sugars, Miss Finster deserved to be here in the top 5 with us all. She only got herself eliminated because she was in a lip sync slay-off, and she tried her best in each lip sync, but I think she just couldn't keep up. I think personally she would have slayed that acting challenge we had, and I know she's been doing drag for many years. She would have used all her wisdom and drag knowledge to probably win the makeover we just had. She was gone too soon.
Alice looking to Blacephalon and asks him the same question. Blacephalon said he personally thought Mike Wazowski would have made it a bit further. Ivy, chuckling, said yeah, probably 1 episode. Blacephalon said no, he would have slayed the snatch game but then went home the next episode. They all laughed.
I do think Mike went a little earlier than expected, because I know for sure he would have given me a run for my money in the snatch game, but the girl group challenge? That would be where his journey ends. I do also agree with Miss Finster's elimination being too soon. She just couldn't quite lip sync as well as the others.
Are these queens feeling okay? Because why are they saying Miss Finster and Mike? 2 awful queens, and to be honest I feel none of them should have went further. But if I had to make a choice, and I am going for a wild option, and that's Goldine. I think she would have lasted 1 more episode and of course bottomed that one as well. She is a power bottom after all.
Ivy tells the queens they're crazy for choosing Miss Finster and Mike. She then tells them that they should have gone episodes 1 and 2. Kazumi looks to Ivy and said they didn't. Now what? Ivy just rolls her eyes. Alice then asks what do they think will be the next challenge. Kazumi said possibly a runway? Marshmallow said she needs a comedy challenge. Blacephalon agrees with Marshmallow and said he would love a comedy challenge. Alice then says she would love another acting challenge to get her 4th win. Ivy said she agrees with Kazumi and wants a runway challenge because she and Kazumi have the best runway package this season. Kazumi thanks her and said Marshmallow's runways are really sickening as well. Ivy said really? Before anyone could respond, a producer tells them to get ready for a mini challenge.
She's lucky a producer stopped me from going off on her. Yes, I do think Marshmallow's runways are sickening. Although they're not quite top-level designer runways like Ivy's claims hers are, but they're still incredible. I would wear them. But it looks like we're about to have a maxi challenge with an advantage. I'm curious to find out what that challenge will be.
A challenge with an advantage. What could we be possibly doing this week? Sugars, I don't know, but I know for sure, this is going to be my challenge. It has to be. I cannot make any mistakes because it's about time a queen like me is in that hall of fame.
Ivy wins the mini challenge and will get an advantage for the maxi challenge.
Did she call me? Oh my god, I want a mini challenge. What happened to Try Hard Alice? Has she given up so soon? I get an advantage for this challenge and of course I will use that wise. I don't know what we're about to do, but I am so ready.
Hello, hello, hello!
Here's RuPaul right on time. I'm kinda shocked Ivy won a mini challenge to be honest, and she gets the advantage. I definitely know she won't be playing fairly like I have been when I was granted the advantages when I won my mini challenges.
My queens, congratulations on making the top 5, but for one of you, your journey ends tonight, just like Blazion's last week. Now for your maxi challenge. This week, you will be roasting each other.
A roast? Thank God. My prayers have been answered. I've been wanting a comedy challenge for a while now, and with the queens left in the competition, I'm pretty sure I'll be getting my redemption from last week's bottom placement. My only competition in a comedy challenge is Marshmallow. That bitch is funny, I'm pretty funny, the rest of them, good luck.
Sugars, this challenge couldn't have come at a better time. I know for sure I am going to do well tonight. I'm a comedy queen, I can crack a joke, I can roast a bitch, and I will not be holding back.
Oh, well, for the first time in this competition. I am nervous. I do not see myself as a funny queen, and I have never said I am a funny queen. But I do write poetry, so I guess I just gotta write some poems about these queens, but add in a lot of shade. I've already got about 20 on Ivy. I will not let this challenge be the better of me. I will overcome this, somehow.
You will not only be roasting each other, but myself, Musa, Cynthia, and our extra special guest judge, who you will meet later on, because you will have a one-on-one comedy crash course with them.
Oh, thank goodness we will have a crash course with our guest judge, because I'm actually feeling so nervous the moment the word roast left RuPaul's mouth. I am not a comedy queen at all. I was lucky to be safe in the snatch game, and there was about 10 of us then, but now there are 5 of us. There is no hiding in the background for this.
And Ivy, your advantage for this roast challenge. You will decide the roast order. Now I will see you on the main stage, so good luck and don't fuck this up.
I had an idea I was going to be creating the order for this roast, and I am out for blood. We have Marshmallow and Blacephalon, 2 of the funnier queens, while Blacephalon is funny looking. And then you have 2 of the unfunny queens in Alice and Kazumi, and then there's me, hilarious. I'm kidding, I'm a little nervous, but I know I won't be the one who will be lip-syncing tonight.
The queens gather back round and Ivy said she already has her order done. Marshmallow confused asked, "Are you going to ask us what we would prefer?" Ivy laughing said no and said opening the roast will be Marshmallow.
I would have loved to voice where I wanted to be placed in the roast order, but Ivy said she already got her order planned and whatever. But she's put me first and honestly I don't mind it. I wanted to be either first or last. I'll be setting the tone for the roast, sugars.
Ivy then says, after Marshmallow will be Kazumi Mishima. Kazumi just smiles and nods. Ivy said, "Are you okay with that?" Kazumi said, "Not really." Ivy then says, "Too bad."
Ugh, I'm really starting to dislike Ivy a lot. She knows I'm her biggest competition here, and putting me after Marshmallow is going to set me up for failure. Marshmallow is so funny, and me. Well, I'm a great lip syncer. But I'm not going to let this bother me, or get into my head. I know that's what Ivy wants. I just need to focus on actually trying to be funny, and get some jokes written down.
Ivy chuckling, said after Kazumi is going to be her, and then after Ivy will be Alice. Alice thanks Ivy for not putting her last. Ivy said, "You're not bothered about being after me?" Alice, laughing, said, "No, not at all, and that's the best joke she's heard all day." Ivy said she will be the last one laughing.
My order was pretty easy, honestly. Have Marshmallow open the roast, because she is the funniest here, and I didn't want to go after her, so I put Kazumi, someone who needs to be knocked down. She's going to do horrendously after Marshmallow. Then that's when I come in. I will lift the mood back up, have the judges laughing, and then Alice panics, seeing how amazing I am doing, and then Blacephalon closing the show, probably devouring his set, and the judges forgetting all about Alice, and she is in the bottom. That's the plan in my head, and that's the plan I hope will happen. I'll be furious if somehow Alice wins this.
I'm kinda shocked she didn't put me last. I was fully expecting to be either last or first, but I'll be happy going after Ivy. She's not that funny. I haven't laughed a single time she's tried reading us, or trying to tell a joke, so I hope this little order of hers backfires and she will be up for elimination.
Ivy then says closing the roast will be Blacephalon because she's looking out for her Premier 2 sister. Blacephalon thanks Ivy, and said, "Sure you are." Ivy, chuckling, said she really is looking out for him and she knows he's going to smash this challenge. Blacephalon thanks her and said they should all make a start on writing their jokes. Alice agreed and they all begin working on their material.
I'm happy where I am in the roast order, closing the show. Especially knowing Marshmallow is opening. And for Ivy to say she put me there to help her Premier 2 sister, girl, you don't care about me, like I don't care about you. But I think I'm actually going to work on my own today, so I'm focused on my material. Plus we have a one-on-one soon with our guest judge. I have no idea who it could be. Hopefully it's Roger. I love Roger.
Alice, Marshmallow, and Kazumi are working on their jokes before they have their one-on-one with the guest judge. Marshmallow asks them both who do they think is going to be the guest judge. Alice said she thinks it's going to be a roast winner from a previous season. Kazumi nods and said she thinks so as well, and said someone like Peppa Pig? She's a 2-time roast winner. Marshmallow said she hopes not, she can't handle the crying. They all laugh.
Actually, sugars, I changed my mind. Bring Peppa Pig, because there's about 100 jokes you could write about her, 50 of them of her crying the entire time of All Stars 3, and the other 50 of her drag. But I'm doing pretty well with my material. I got quite a lot of jokes written down. I think I have too many. I'll probably give some to Kazumi and Alice. They will need them. And I want the 3 of us to move on to next week.
Alice said she's a little stressed, she can't quite think of any jokes right now. Kazumi said she's got about 3 jokes at the moment, but she's not sure if they're mean enough for a roast. Marshmallow asks Kazumi to read them out. Kazumi clears her throat and starts telling the jokes. Once hearing them, Marshmallow tells Kazumi they're okay. They're not haha funny, but they're okay. Kazumi thanks Marshmallow for the critique.
I'm very grateful for Marshmallow's input on my jokes, because let's be real here, she is the funniest person in this room, and I value any bit of advice she can give, because I need to make sure I am not in the bottom, and I'm glancing at her page of jokes and it's pretty full, whilst mine and Alice's are basically empty, so I need to think of some more.
Alice starts writing down a joke and said she glanced over to Ivy, and she immediately thought of something. Marshmallow chuckles and said she got about 5 jokes on Ivy already. Marshmallow then offers 2 jokes each to Alice and Kazumi. Alice, shocked, said, "Are you sure?" Marshmallow said, "Yes, you helped me in the acting challenge, I will help you here." Marshmallow then looks to Kazumi and said she helped her in the girl group with choreography, and she will also be helping her. Kazumi and Alice both give Marshmallow a hug, and said this is true sisterhood. Marshmallow nods and said they will be in the finale together, and they continue to brainstorm some more jokes.
She's such an incredible person. I absolutely love Marshmallow, and she gave myself and Kazumi 2 jokes each, and I couldn't be more thankful. We are really coming up with some incredible jokes. I'm very inspired right now, and I am not slowing down.
Ivy and Blacephalon are writing some material. Blacephalon asked Ivy why is she sitting with him. Ivy said she loves him and wants to get to know him. Blacephalon asks her what does she really want. Ivy said she really wants some help with some jokes. Blacephalon said he knew she weren't being genuine. Ivy said she actually would like to get to know him before he goes home. Blacephalon laughed and said you should put that joke in your material.
She's so fake, I cannot deal with her. She says she wants to get to know me, sure sister. Why all of a sudden at the top 5 do you want to bond with me? So I can give you a joke or 2. No, that's not happening, not on my watch. You've had 9 episodes to get to know me, and now it's too late, good luck.
Ivy said she's not asking for a joke, she's asking how is he doing. Blacephalon said he's doing great, even better that he's closing the show. Blacephalon then asks why did Ivy choose him to go last. Ivy said because you're funny, and that you will be more funny than Alice, and her set would be totally forgotten by the judges. Blacephalon asked Ivy why does she hate Alice. Ivy said she doesn't hate her, she just dislikes her, and she's clearly the production's favorite around here. Blacephalon said no, she's not the production's favorite, that was Abby. Ivy asked Blacephalon how does he think she's gotten all these wins. Blacephalon tells Ivy, it's because Alice is one of the most talented queens here. Ivy said maybe he's right, maybe she's just jealous of Alice's success. Blacephalon said maybe you are. Before Ivy could respond, there's a noise at the workroom entrance.
Okay, Blacephalon kinda figured out I wasn't looking for a friendship, just some jokes, but I know he won't give me any, so now I am actually looking for a friendship with him. I don't have many friends, a lot of people don't like me, and it would be kinda nice to leave here not only with a crown, but with a friend. I know you're probably thinking what about Abby, what about Goldine? What about them? I didn't really like them, they're both a bunch of flops to be honest, and Blacephalon is talented. And I guess Alice is as well. I know she won't want to talk to me right now, but I'll speak with her later, because I think our guest judge has arrived.
Is it just me or did my ass get even bigger?
Oh my god, it's Red Guy. I love Red Guy and my goodness yes, that ass is huge. I thought it was big on the screen, but seeing it in person is crazy. I think it has its own heartbeat.
Well, hi there, it's me, the BBL queen, Red Guy. And I am here to give these queens a crash course in roasting bitches. And I heard there's been a queen favored by RuPaul, and I want to fight her, because I'm RuPaul's favorite around here. Oh, she's not here? Okay, well, sucks for her. Can't be that much of a favorite if she didn't make it to the finale like how I did. But I see 5 queens, and I see some concerned faces, so I'm about to make a bitch cry. I dare them to roast this ass of mine.
Blacephalon is first up to have his one-on-one with Red Guy. Red Guy asks Blacephalon how much material does he have. Blacephalon shows Red Guy his 3 pages. Red Guy says that's impressive, it's a lot and will most likely need to edit some for timing, and asks him where is he in the order. Blacephalon tells Red Guy he's closing the roast. Red Guy said that's probably going to work in his favor, and asks to hear some of Blacephalon's jokes. Blacephalon tells Red Guy some of his jokes, which has Red Guy laughing a lot. Red Guy said he has no notes for him other than to edit for timing. Blacephalon thanks Red Guy, and said he will edit down.
That went perfect for me. The only critique I had from Red Guy was basically to edit down my material. He was very impressed I presented him 3 pages worth of jokes, so now I just have to sort through which ones will make the edit. I'm definitely going to use the ones I had him laughing with.
Kazumi is up next and Red Guy can see she's nervous. Red Guy asks her is she okay? Kazumi said she's just a little nervous because she doesn't have much material. Red Guy tells her not to be nervous, he's here to help her, and asks her to read what she has so far. Kazumi starts reading her jokes, and Red Guy laughs at 2 of them. Red Guy looks to Kazumi and said you need to be meaner, this is a roast, not a walk in the park with friends. Red Guy then tells Kazumi she had 2 really good jokes and the rest of them needs to be on that level because he was blown away by Blacephalon's. Kazumi tells Red Guy those jokes were given to her by Marshmallow. Red Guy said here the judges won't know where the jokes come from, they just have to be funny. Red Guy then gives her some advice for the roast. And Kazumi thanks Red Guy for his help.
My one-on-one with Red Guy went okay. He really gave me some needed advice and I have to apply that advice to my material. He liked the 2 jokes that Marshmallow gave me, so that's a bonus. I'm guaranteed a laugh. This is definitely challenging.
Alice is up next, and again Red Guy can also see she's nervous. Red Guy asks her are you okay? Alice said yep, never better. Red Guy confused said you look nervous. Alice tells him she is but she's focused and ready to show him what she has prepared. Red Guy nods, and said he can't wait to hear what Alice has. Alice starts reading out some jokes, and Red Guy laughs along. Alice smiles, asks how was that? Red Guy said that was pretty funny, then tells Alice she can dig deeper than that, really let them have it, be meaner. Alice said she's not the mean girl type. Red Guy chuckles, and said honey you have to be mean in a roast, how else do you think he landed this gig? Red Guy points out 2 jokes that were really funny. Alice chuckling said those 2 jokes were given to her by Marshmallow. Red Guy asked is Marshmallow giving everyone jokes? Alice chuckling said no, just her and Kazumi. Red Guy looks to Alice and said you don't need those jokes, the others you have in your notebook are pretty funny, and she should work around that, but if she wants to use the other jokes go ahead. Alice nods. Red Guy then continues to give Alice more advice and Alice thanks him.
Red Guy was amazing. He gave me some good pointers. He loved my jokes and not just the ones Marshmallow gave me. He loved my actual jokes, the ones I personally wrote. I am so happy right now. I don't know if I will use both of the jokes Marshmallow gave me. I do feel like I should use at least one, to show my gratitude to her, for even offering such a thing even this late into the competition. That's when you know you got a true friend. I think she is up next, and I know she will smash the one-on-one with Red Guy.
Marshmallow is up next, and Red Guy looks to her and said, "You're the famous Marshmallow who is giving jokes away, huh?" Marshmallow laughing said, "That's her all right." Red Guy looks to her and said, "Are you okay?" Marshmallow said, "She's fine, why do you ask?" Red Guy said to her, "Why are you giving these queens jokes, and this late into the competition?" Marshmallow said they were struggling and they're her best friends. Marshmallow then said to Red Guy, "You would have done the same for Raquel and Mr. Turner on season 9. Red Guy looks to her and said, "You got a point there," and asked her what does she have prepared. Marshmallow shows off 5 pages of jokes. Red Guy stunned and said he thought he seen a lot of material when Blacephalon showed his work, and now there is more right in front of him. Marshmallow chuckled and said, "Sugar, she does this for a living, at the clubs." Red Guy asked her to read him some of her material. Marshmallow reads Red Guy some jokes, and he is in hysterics. Marshmallow smirking said, "How was that?" Red Guy said, "That was hilarious. He only has one note for her, and that's the same as Blacephalon's." Edited down. Marshmallow winks to him and thanks him for the advice. Red Guy asks production for an inhaler.
Well, sugars, that went incredibly well. I had Red Guy laughing so much he needed an inhaler. I think this is going to be my challenge honestly, but I was told Blacephalon had about 3 pages worth of material. We both have to edit hours down to fit the allocated time for the challenge, so I can't wait to go out there, roast these bitches, roast the judges and kill this challenge.
Ivy is the final queen to see Red Guy. She gives him a kiss on the cheek. Red Guy looks to her and said, "Flirting with me won't make me go easy on you." Ivy laughing said she's just being friendly, she is the Miss Congeniality of the season. Red Guy asked, "Really?" Ivy nods and said, "Absolutely." Red Guy tells her okay then, and asks her to present her material. Ivy presents 2 jokes. Red Guy looks to her and said, "Is that it?" Ivy said yes, that's all she could think of. Red Guy shakes his head and said, "You're the last one to this table, and all you bring me is 2 jokes?" Red Guy looks them over and said, "At least they're funny." Ivy said, "Of course they're funny, she wrote them." Red Guy shocked said, "Marshmallow didn't give you these jokes?" Ivy chuckling said no, and asked, "Has Marshmallow given jokes out?" Red Guy tells her yes, both Kazumi and Alice told him Marshmallow gave them jokes. Ivy nods, and said, "Interesting, very interesting." Ivy asked Red Guy how did Alice do. Red Guy said she was pretty funny and asks Ivy, "Are they friends?" Ivy said yes, the best of friends, and she's glad her jokes were great, then starts laughing to herself. Red Guy weirded out, gave her some more advice for her material and said, "You need a lot more jokes than what you have." Ivy nods and said she will, "Don't you worry."
So my one-on-one went okay. I had 2 jokes that I wrote personally and wasn't given by Marshmallow, and Red Guy loved them. And I'm glad that Alice's jokes went pretty good as well, because why wouldn't they? Poison Ivy said it best last week, "She's a sweat, but I need to see how Premier 1 is doing. Have a little chit-chat."
Ivy joins the Premier 1 queens at their station. Marshmallow asks her what is she up to. Ivy said nothing, she just wanted to see how their one-on-ones went with Red Guy. Marshmallow said hers went incredibly well, she had Red Guy gasping for breath. Kazumi said hers went fine, just needs to be a bit more mean with her roast. Alice said hers was pretty funny. Ivy nods and said, "Even the jokes that Marshmallow gave you both?"
Of course she wasn't coming over here to check how we did, she's coming over here to mess with us. Yes, Red Guy loved my joke that was given to me from Marshmallow, so what? She really grinds my gears, you know. I need to step away from her before I go off on her. I know that's what she wants.
Alice nodded and said yes, even the jokes that Marshmallow gave us. Red Guy loved. Anything else? Ivy said no, not really. Alice said good and said she needs to go to the toilet anyway, and leaves the workroom.
Something is up with Ivy, because why is she with us right now? I'm trying to think of some jokes, and she's just stood there looking at the desk. She's acting strange. Like really strange.
Ivy asked Marshmallow how long does she think Alice will be in the toilet. Marshmallow said that's a weird question to ask her, she doesn't know. Ivy nods and glances over to Alice's paper. Kazumi asked her what is she doing. Ivy said nothing, she's just admiring Blacephalon. Kazumi shakes her head and said sure. Ivy, chuckling, said oh she's sure, and continues glancing at Alice's paper, smiling to herself. Marshmallow said Ivy is freaking her out and asks production to move her back to her station. Ivy said fine, she's got everything she needs, and said she's going. Kazumi said what do you mean by that? Ivy said never you mind, just wait for the roast, and laughed to herself.
I don't know what the hell that crazy bitch was doing, all I felt was her breath on my neck. I had to get her moved back to her station. She was just there laughing to herself. I know this competition is tough, but my goodness, she needs to join the hospital. Celia got checked into, I fear.
Marshmallow asks Alice how was her toilet break. Alice, laughing, said she didn't go, she just needed to get away from Ivy. They all laugh. Kazumi said she should have went with Alice, because Ivy was acting really weird. Alice asked what was she doing. Marshmallow said she was laughing to herself and just looking around on the floor. Alice said what a weird girl. Marshmallow agreed, and they all continue working on their material.
I had to step away, I couldn't handle Ivy and her fake concerns. So I said I had to use the toilet, but I didn't go in the end. I just collected some thoughts, and thought of another joke. Hopefully it's funny and mean enough for this roast.
Ivy returns to her station and is still laughing to herself. Blacephalon asks what's so funny. Ivy said you will see when we do the roast. Blacephalon said okay then, and said speaking of the roast, there's not a lot of time to prepare for it. Ivy said she will be fine, she's suddenly thought of a lot more jokes. Blacephalon tells Ivy good for her, and they both continue preparing for the roast.
I don't know what's happened over at that workstation, but Ivy has come back very happy, laughing to herself, and said she got a lot more jokes. Good for her, honestly. Or did she go and beg Marshmallow for some, because I wouldn't give her any? Either way, I have edited down my set, and I am ready to smash this challenge. It's about time we had a comedy challenge.
Blacephalon and Marshmallow slayed the challenge.
Well, that was a no-brainer. Me and Marshmallow absolutely killed this challenge. I just know for sure. I am going to the finale next week. It's going to be a close one between me or Marshmallow for this win. It could come down to our runways, and I do think mine is more avant-garde than Marshmallow's.
Sugars, that went absolutely incredible. I had the whole panel of judges gasping for breath. Red Guy did have to have another puff on that inhaler. God, it felt so good to make them laugh. They probably needed it. I do personally think I was better than Blacephalon, but I'm not doubting his talent. He was hilarious. It's going to be a close one, I think.
Ivy had a great performance.
Well, that went according to plan. Marshmallow killed it. Kazumi wasn't funny, I thought. I did not laugh at all. Then I picked up laughs, especially from the jokes I borrowed from Alice's paper. It was hilarious. The look on her face when she realized I was telling her jokes, priceless. My favorite moment in this entire competition. She did not know what to do. I could see her scrambling. Thank you, Alice. Love you, sister.
Kazumi Mishima had a good performance.
Even though I got a couple of laughs from the panel, I am still so proud of my performance, because never did I think someone like me could tell a joke. But I am pretty sure I am probably lip-syncing tonight, and I do think one of my best friends, Alice, will be there with me. I cannot fathom such a thing, but I'm going to learn these words.
Alice flopped the challenge.
That fucking bitch. I have never in my life been this angry. Ivy stole my jokes. I knew she was up to something when she came over to us, and I am in total disbelief at how childish and unprofessional she is. The moment I heard her first joke, I was like, that's very familiar, and then I clocked on what she was doing, when she looked to me and winked. And then my turn, I stood there and froze, because I had nothing, not one joke, not even the one joke from Marshmallow I left out of my set. I couldn't remember what it was. I could cry right now, and I have to prepare for this lip sync. It's obvious that I will be lip syncing tonight.
Welcome to the main stage of Cartoon Drag Race Season 12. Let me introduce to you my judging panel. Up first, she is the fashion icon, and my right-hand gal, the champion of Season 8, she is Musa. Up next, she is the powerhouse of Cartoon Drag Race, the Season 11 champion, she is Cynthia. And our extra special guest judge, he is the self-proclaimed queen of the BBL and the self-proclaimed RuPaul's favorite. He is the hilarious, Red Guy. Welcome home, darling. Now this week we challenged our queens to roast us, and well, some did, and some Never mind, now racers, start your engines, and may the best drag queen win. Now let the judging commence. Marshmallow, congratulations, you are the winner of this week's challenge.
Oh my god, thank you so much. This win means so much to me. This is my second win, my first solo win, and I'm so happy to have won a comedy challenge. But is there no finale next week? RuPaul, you didn't mention you moving on to the finale?
Blacephalon and Ivy, great job this week, you are both safe.
Oh damn, close but not close enough. Congratulations Marshmallow, it was a tough one between myself and you, but no mention on the finale next week? Are we following Cartoon Drag Race Season 7 and having a top 3 finale?
I am so happy to make it another week, and to see both of the front runners in the bottom is incredible. One of them is going home tonight, and you know who I am praying for. With Kazumi next to her on that stage, she stands no chance.
Alice and Kazumi Mishima, I'm sorry my dears, but you are both up for elimination.
The time has come for you to lip sync for your life.
Oh my god, I can't believe I am about to go one-on-one in a lip sync against one of my dearest friends, my Destiny's other children sister, and the other front runner of this competition. I love Kazumi so much, but I love my place in this competition more. I'm sorry Kazumi, but I will fight for my place in this competition.
Wow, this lip sync is going to hurt, because Alice has been my rock in this competition. She has been there for me when I needed help, and vice versa. I'm sorry Alice, I love you so much. I know we have been close here, but I cannot and will not go easy on you, because I am lip syncing for my life. I'm about to give you the Kazumi Mishima experience.
The lip sync song is Catitude by Miley Cyrus featuring RuPaul. Both Alice and Kazumi had a great lip sync.
Ladies, I've made my decision.
Kazumi Mishima.
Shantae, you stay.
Alice.
Sashay away.
Thank you so much for this incredible opportunity, meeting these talented queens, and one joke stealer. Now I have a Mad Hatter and a tea party to get to. Ciao for now.
This is Untucked.
The queens unwind and untuck, they congratulate Marshmallow on her win, and then they congratulate Kazumi for surviving the lip sync, they thank them. Kazumi and Marshmallow hug, and said they will miss Alice a lot. Marshmallow said to Kazumi she was incredible in that lip sync and no shade, but she thought it was going to be a double save. Kazumi nods and said she thought so as well to be honest, and said Alice gave her a run for her money. Ivy asked Kazumi, did you go easy on her? Kazumi said no, not at all. Ivy said she's so happy to see the back of Alice. Marshmallow told Ivy to shut the fuck up for once. Ivy, shocked, said she's just giving her opinion? Marshmallow said your opinion is not needed right now. Ivy tells Marshmallow whatever and congrats her on her second win. Marshmallow thanks her and asked her what did Alice mean joke stealer. Ivy, chuckling, said that she stole Alice's jokes. The queens are shocked. Blacephalon looked to Ivy and said you're not even denying it? Ivy said no, not at all, and that was her plan from the moment she won the mini challenge. Kazumi asked her why. Ivy said isn't it obvious, to get rid of Alice, and it worked, she never saw it coming. They all shake their heads at her. Ivy said don't be like that, you all would do it if you were in her shoes? Marshmallow said no, because we are all talented and professional. Ivy looking to Kazumi and said clearly not that talented if you're getting jokes off another queen. Blacephalon looks to Ivy and said you tried to get jokes off of him? Ivy said she never. Blacephalon said there are cameras everywhere, so don't play stupid. Marshmallow looks to Blacephalon and congratulates him on a great roast. Blacephalon thanks Marshmallow and said she was fantastic herself. Before Ivy could speak, a TV screen is rolled in for Marshmallow, and on the screen are Glitter and Marbles, two of Marshmallow's friends. Marshmallow starts crying, and she is comforted by Kazumi and Blacephalon. Glitter and Marbles tell Marshmallow they are so proud of her for getting this close to the end, and that she is doing so well with being her true self and representing the trans community proudly. They then tell her to make sure she is in that Hall of Fame. Marshmallow said she will try. Kazumi and Blacephalon hug Marshmallow and told her she has great friends. Marshmallow said they are her sisters and she loves them so much. Just as Kazumi was going to speak, she has someone on the screen, and it's Ling Xiaoyu. Kazumi also starts crying. Ling tells Kazumi she and her Tekken sister Christy are so proud of her, and she's so amazing, and she can't wait to reunite with her soon, she's missing her. Ling then tells Kazumi she got just one more episode left before the finale, and she needs to remain focused and be the first Tekken queen in the finale, then on to the crown. Kazumi nods and said she will make sure she gets to the finale. Marshmallow said she loves Ling, and she can't wait to meet her. Marshmallow then tells Kazumi she, Christy and Ling are more than welcome to come to Bob's Burgers, the Belchers will serve them up some stunning food. Kazumi tells Marshmallow they will definitely be there. Blacephalon asked if he could come. Marshmallow said of course. Ivy asked what about her. Marshmallow said she will think about it. Just as Ivy was about to speak, there is a message for her on the screen, and on the screen is Ivy's father, Hyacinth. Ivy starts crying, Kazumi comforts her, Ivy thanks Kazumi. Hyacinth tells Ivy he and everyone back home is so proud of her for making it this far, but she gotta start being nice to everyone. Hyacinth then tells Ivy that there is only one more hurdle in the competition, and he knows she will make it to the end, and whether she wins or loses, he will always be proud of her. Kazumi said that was nice of him. Marshmallow agreed and said to Ivy to listen to her dad and start being nice to them. Ivy said she will start and said Marshmallow actually looks pretty today. Marshmallow chuckles and said that's a good start. And another message pops up on the screen for Blacephalon. And on the screen is Cartoon Drag Race Season 2 and All Stars 2 Queen and House of Nimbasa, Gardevoir. Blacephalon also starts crying. Gardevoir tells Blacephalon she's incredibly proud of him, the whole house of Nimbasa is, and to keep doing what he's doing, always be himself, and tells the queens she hopes they're not sick of Michael Jackson. They all laugh. Gardevoir then tells Blacephalon she is immensely jealous of him for making it further than she ever could, but she is so proud and hopes the crown can come back home, and says she's a psychic type and she can see the crown on his head, then wishes him luck. Blacephalon is comforted by everyone. Ivy said that was actually really sweet, and she's glad they all have had a moment with a loved one. Kazumi agreed and said they got one more episode together as a 4, and then it's the finale. Marshmallow said they all need to finish their cocktails, which they all do, and they continue laughing and bonding.
Hey, squirrel friend. When one video ends, just open up another one. It's called binge viewing. Go ahead. I support you.